Well, brothers and sisters, today is my 24th video. The title for this video is Disability Discrimination. Why have I chosen this topic? I've chosen this topic because it is a very important topic which serves as the platform of my ministry, my foundation, and other subsequent work which I am doing to help disabled people. I have divided this video into portions. It goes this way. What is discrimination? And what does the Equality Act 2010 talk about discrimination? What are the other forms of discrimination or the types of discrimination? What is disability discrimination, which is a core area we are treating today? And I will end up with what actually or what role does disability ministry, disability activism and campaigning do to help and shape the role of disability in world issues? What is discrimination? Discrimination means an unfair treatment of a person because of who he is or who they are, or because they possess particular characteristics. If you have been treated differently from other people because of who you are, or because of what you possess, or the characteristics which you possess, then you have been discriminated against. The Equality Act 2010 highlights 9 protected characteristics, and these are age, gender, race, disability, religion, pregnancy, maternity, sexual orientation, gender, marriage, and civil partnership. If you are treated unfavorably because someone thinks you belong to a particular group or people with protected characteristics, then this is also an unlawful discrimination. What are the types of discrimination? Discrimination could be either a direct discrimination, where a person with protected characteristic is treated less favorably than others. This is direct discrimination. But where there is a rule or a policy in a workplace or in a society which puts one at a disadvantage as compared to other people, that is indirect discrimination. The Equality Act 2010, this is how it goes. This is a law which was introduced to protect every person from discrimination wherever he or she may be, and particularly as the law goes in the United Kingdom. It replaces the anti-discriminatory laws such as Race Relations Act, Disability Discrimination Act, and Sex Discrimination. And the main purpose is to harmonize equality or equality before the law. It also helps us to understand and reinforce protection in some situations. What are the other forms of discrimination? People discriminate on the basis of age. This is age discrimination. People discriminate on the basis of sex, sex discrimination. People discriminate on the basis of maternity and pregnancy. And that is why when a woman is pregnant, she's given 52 weeks for rest. We also have race discrimination, where people discriminate on the basis of race, ethnicity, and background. We also have religious discrimination, where you are being discriminated against because of your religion. Sexual discrimination, where people are being discriminated against. Now this law does everything to give equality between man and woman. Now we come to the major emphasis here, and that is disability discrimination. The Equality Act 2010 is against disability discrimination. The definition of disability is wide, very wide, and it covers those with learning disability, dyslexia, and autism, among others. And this definition is set out in Section 6 of the 2010 Disability Act or Equality Act. It says that you have a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial or long-term adverse effect on your ability to carry out normal day-to-day activity. This covers automatically impairments such as cancer or visual impairments, sight impaired or maybe partially sighted, multiple sclerosis, an HIV infection, and even if you don't have a symptom, a severe long-term disfigurement, for example, severe facial scarring or skin disease. These are covered in Schedule 1, Part 1 of the Equality Act 2010, and in Regulation 7 of the Equality Act 2010, Disability Regulation 2010. Discrimination against the disabled or putting the disabled at an unfair disadvantage wherever they may be is unlawful. It's really unlawful. It could be in college settings, at workplaces, or maybe buying property, or where people are providing goods and services and other facilities. And the only time when disability discrimination is considered legal is if it is possible to justify actions on health and safety grounds or because of unavoidable business reasons. The disabled must specify the exact definition of disability. Here, a person can claim disability if they have any physical or mental impairment that has a substantial or long-term adverse effect on their ability to carry out normal everyday activities. The disabled must meet these two requirements, which is substantial and long-term, for him to be considered disabled. Employers must make reasonable adjustments for a disabled person to help them overcome any inherent advantages resulting from their disability. The equality law protects you from being discriminated against wherever you may be, and it could be during recruitment, training, employment terms and conditions, and other conditions like promotion, transfer, advancement opportunities, redundancy, and dismissal periods. That discrimination against disabled people can occur. Treating a disabled employee unfairly or refusing to hire qualified prospective employee only because of disability is against the law. Imagine somebody's going to look for a job and they tell him, oh, we can't give you a job, all because he's disabled. Well, as a result of this, some of us have taken it upon ourselves to continue with how we can campaign and fight for our brothers and sisters who are disabled. Because the more pressure we put on, the more governments, the more institutions come to have to know what we actually are after. Most people don't know what actually disability is. They talk anyhow. But the more we put pressure on institutions, the more they come to feel what actually we need from them as disabled people. Brothers and sisters, disability goes also into churches. Churches are made up of a large society. Persons who walk into the church could be disabled people, non-disabled people. But less treatment has been given to people with disabilities. It is as a result of this that we have taken upon ourselves to move on to see what we can do with disability. Remember, brothers and sisters, today's topic is a very important topic. In subsequent topics, I'll be relating them to the Bible. I'll be relating them to the corporate world. I'll be relating them to wherever they should be. I'll be relating them to the professional world, so that everybody comes to understand what actually and where the disability issue goes into. Thank you very much for this video. Have enough time to listen to this video and listen to them. It's a very important topic for our subsequent topics. God richly bless you.